Okay, so SAP HANA high availability replication modes, high availability replication. So what is this high availability? So critical production systems, we can install HANA in the two critical production systems here. Suppose example, we have the primary HANA system and secondary HANA system here, primary and secondary. So what we can do, so we can make it as a one system as a primary, second one as like a secondary here. Then we can transfer the data from here to here. We can transfer the data for the replication. Using the replication and operation modes, we can replicate the data from the primary to secondary here. Sir, why we need to host here? So in the high availability critical production application servers, database is the very crucial part here. In case of database is down, application also will be down, right? So to avoid this kind of things, so sometimes we may have to install in the high availability HA mode here, which means so two databases we have to install it. One we have to make it as a primary and secondary. So in any case, the primary goes down, the secondary will become active status here. Secondary will become active status here. So that purpose we have the so high HA mode level we have to install it here, right? So primary goes down, secondary will become active status here. Secondary will become active. That purpose we have the HA replication modes here. Okay, so that is the one thing here. So but sir, why then why primary goes down, secondary will become active? Then why we have to replicate the data as well, primary to secondary continuously? Why? Because all the transactions will happens in the primary side, primary database level here. So same data will be replicated to the here. But if any point in time the primary goes down, immediately the secondary should be available. At the same time, same data should be available in the secondary also, right? To maintain the same continuity, the consistency, we should maintain the same, right? So that purpose we should have a so high available secondary replication should be required here. That purpose we require the this data, right? That is the purpose of HA replication. To perform this one, what you required here? To perform the replication, what you required? So here you require the both the systems. To you need require the two hosts are required here. Two hosts are required here, right? In the two hosts, so we have to run the HANA database and same SID, same instance number, different host you should be required here. HDB 00, then HDB 00, HDB 00. We have to execute the both the host same, both the two host, and so we have to same SID, same instance number, host name different should be executed here. Means database SID instance number should be same, but the host name should be, operating system name should be different here. That should be first we have to verify it here. In that one we have to make it as a primary and assume second one we have to make it as a secondary system here, right? So first of all, let's validate the HANA system details here now, right? So go to the KPS4 HANA. Let's make this as a primary here, right? Go to the so here, so we have the HDB ADM. Let's see the database is up and running or not. So no, it's down. Someone stopped the, I think when someone stopped again, they need to start it. That's the thing. Where's database name? Okay, someone stopped, I guess. That's the reason. If they have stopped it, they should start it, right? Or intentionally is there they are doing. So then next host is the KPS4 HANA 2. KPS4 HANA 2. So that KPS4 HANA 2 is our another database here. So where we can, so that is the another database here. So this is started. So it is up and running here. So one is started and it's HDB 00. So same we have the one more database, one more host is called the KPS4 HANA 2. So let me start that one. So I started the VM. So I restarted the VM. It will be starting. So meanwhile, let's see the steps, replication steps, what we have to do it here, right? So on the primary host, right? So make sure. So DB is up and running on primary, up and running on. So running on primary and secondary as well. This is for the replication perspective. Primary and secondary DB is up and running. And also ensure both databases, both DBs having same version. Database having the same version or secondary should be higher than source. So source and target. So both should be either same version or the secondary database should be either same or higher than source. Then only the replication will works, right? And take the backup of the primary. First take full DB backup, full DB backup of the primary. Okay, that is we have to take it out here. Then once done, copy the keys, copy the SSFS keys from primary to the secondary. Then restart the secondary after copy the restart the secondary after copy of keys. So after copy of SSFS keys, that is very important. Sometimes what happens, secondary, it won't start after copying the keys from the primary to secondary, right? So once that is done, the next step, so register, uh, like no, enable, enable primary, enable primary enable the replication enable replication on primary host using ANA Studio or commands we can use it here. The seventh one, so secondary register secondary into primary. While registering, we need to provide the, so we need to provide the, we need to provide the, so like replication modes and operational modes we have to provide to the, so we have to provide it here. So this I will explain it what is this exactly, right? Then once registration is done, Then so validate the replication, monitor the replication primary using system DB. We have to monitor it here. This is what we have to perform it here. These steps we need to perform it here. So we need to check the primary DB and make sure databases should be up and running or not here, right? So let me check the secondary. Okay, yes, secondary is up and running. Okay, so HDB ADM, then HDB info. So database is not started. Let's start the, before starting the database, let's check the what is the host name configured 102 104. Okay, so you are starting the DB, and here also you are starting the database is up and running. Okay, so DB info, then let's check the version, HDB space version. It's like a 79 here. Okay, so 2.0 79 here. So then here we'll see the what is the version here once it is started. So in the etc host file, we have to maintain the second host correct IP details and everything we have to maintain. So basically the primary should able to ping to the secondary. You will get the response, right? That purpose we have to maintain the secondary details on here, right? And primary should maintain the details here. So then, so secondary should able to ping to the primary here, right? So let's see the version here, that is 79. This is also 79. So both are matching here. And also the connection test from primary to secondary and secondary to primary should able to ping. So both are working, all are working fine here. So both the databases are up and running, it's working fine here. So then the next step is like a ensure both are having the same version. So that is fine, we passed the step number 2, take the full DB backup here. So I think yesterday we have taken the backup of the so databases, right? So I think same backup we can use it, or we can also set up the new backup. We can also take the new backup also, that is also fine here, right? So if you go to the backup catalog system DB, so okay, so we have the backups we have taken yesterday. So let's take the one more system DB backup. System DB also let's take the backup here. Okay, so that backup also, system DB means name server is the main, tenant means index server is the main. So that backup also we have taken. Everything is done. So now, so let's configure the primary and secondary into the HANA Studio level here. So now KPS4 HANA 2 and 00 multi-container system database. This is the secondary DB. So here system, the password is incorrect. What is the password then? Yeah. So secondary, we got the secondary database and this is the primary. So for understanding purpose, I maintained the comment as well here in the comment section. I maintained the comment as well here. So that is fine. So now primary and secondary. This both are done. So now what we can do, primary, secondary both are done. So what we can do, KPS4 HANA, KPS4 HANA, SQBS4 HANA 2, both are running, both are up and running, same version done. So next one is the, so copy the SSFS keys from primary to secondary here, right? So where these keys are available, if you go to the CD, USR, SAP, then SID and SYS. So here SYS global. So here security. Here we have the RS SSF keys. So this data and keys we should move to the target level. Target level we should override this one here. But because so we have to copy this data and keys. These are the file system level encryption keys here. So we should copy this from the primary to secondary. Then what I can do here, key I can make it as a key underscore old. Then data I can make it as a data underscore old here. That is done. So now what I will do, I will copy from the primary using the SCP command -rp rf recursive force. These two folders I'm copying to the with root and KPS4 HANA 2, and the location is the same location, right? Target also same location here. I'm copying here. Yes, it's copied. See, so OS level to OS level, there is a SCP command. We can transfer it here. Same way I have used it here. So if you see here, same way I have used it here. So you have copied. So let me recopy once again, same command. So it's done. Go to the ls-ltr. You can see data and key are copied, but the root is permission is the HDB ADM. So then we can change it to the chown. So -r HDB ADM space SAP sys. So key and data, both I have changed it here. Okay, so let's give the permission 777. That's why initially we discussed about these commands. Sometimes we may have to change the folder permissions and everything. Now both are fine, right? Primary, secondary. Then restart the secondary after copying the keys. That's what the next step here, right? Then HDB stop, they stop the database. Okay, then HDB start. After copying the keys, these are the file system keys, file system encryption keys. So definitely we should copy from primary to secondary. So then KPS4 is our primary, right? Then enable the replication using the HANA Studio or OS level commands. Also we can use it. Right click, go to the configuration and monitoring, and configure the system replication. Configure the system replication here. So then here HDB ADM, then the passwords we have to use it. Then it will open the one prompt. There we need to use the enable the system replication, right? So then here we need to provide the logical system details like one PRA primary. Okay, so then open enable. Then you have enabled the primary. Enable the primary on the primary system. Enable the replication on the primary host using the HANA Studio. Then register the secondary into primary. Means you need to log into the secondary you need to log into the secondary. Secondary should be stopped status in this case. While registering, secondary should be stopped status here. Then right click on the secondary system database. Then go to the configuration and monitoring. Then this is a very crucial step here. While registering the secondary into primary, this is your secondary. Okay. While registering the secondary into primary, is it started? Stopped. Oh, you stopped it, right? So then this should be stopped status. Then click on the configure the system replication. Then here then it will open the one prompt here. So you will get the one prompt here actually. So when registering the secondary system, you need to decide which operation modes to run on the system replication. System replication can be run in there are the three replication mode, three operation modes. And depending upon the operation modes, we have to provide the data will be transmitted from the primary to the secondary here. Data to primary to secondary here. That's the main thing here, right? And there are the two operation modes and three replication modes we need to set up, right? While registering secondary into primary, we have to provide these details here, right? So when it comes, so they are as I mentioned here, so we have secondary. While registering the secondary, we have to provide the operational modes, and there are the delta data shipping, one operational mode, and the log replay, the second one here. Next one is the operational modes, and also we have the replication modes. So in the replication modes, we have the three types: sync mem, and async. So these are async here. These are the three replication modes and two operational modes here, right? So what is mean by delta data shipping here? Delta data shipping. See here, we got it here. Register the secondary, right? Then next, then here site name secondary. So then replication modes. See here, replication modes: sync, synchronous, and async. Operation modes: delta data shipping and log replay, right? So what is mean by delta data shipping? Let's discuss about the replication modes. So this mode, when you select this delta data shipping here, it will establish a system replication occasionally. So means per default in the delta data shipping every 10 minutes, and occasionally the delta data shipping takes in place in addition to the continuous log shipping. So additionally, the delta every 10 minutes, the delta changes will be moved to the primary to secondary, right? The secondary system will persist the log entire log entries, but in the delta data shipping, the only thing is it does not replay them until you have to take over. It has to take over, right? To shorten the log replay time, data snapshot from time to time, primary to secondary, we have to move it here, right? So here the only thing is the delta data shipping and log replay. The log replay, primary to secondary, continuously the logs will be moved and the logs will be executed on the secondary side. Whenever you have the takeover time, in this mode, in the log replay mode, the logs will be continuously replicated to the replicated and replayed. Replayed means re-executed on the secondary immediately. So whenever takeover time, the takeover timelines are reduced. Primary is failover, the secondary will become active immediately. Why? Because all the logs are replayed. So data system immediately available. So immediately available, the secondary can take over immediately if the primary system fails. But in the delta data shipping here, occasionally every 10 minutes once, continuous to the additional, the logs will be replayed, plus logs will not be replayed on the secondary. The logs will not be replayed on the secondary because of, so because of this a delta data shipping, logs will not be replayed. Whenever the primary fails, the first all the logs will be replayed, then it will take time, then the primary secondary will become primary status. That's why people will always choose the log replay mechanism here. Log replay mechanism here. Then what about the replication modes? What about the replication modes in the system? The replication modes means we have the sync mem, asynchronous here. Sync means here the primary system, normally sync and async concept is primary will send the data to the secondary, but secondary will send the acknowledgement back to the primary saying that I received your transaction. Then immediately the second primary will persist your log, then will send the another log to the secondary. Means until unless you receive the response from the primary about the first data, then only it will send the second data, which is means synchronous. Async means it does not wait for the acknowledgement here, right? That is the main. So here the primary system wait the committing the transaction until it get the reply from the, so secondary, the secondary will, what will happen? The primary system will send the transaction, secondary will receive the transaction from primary, and sync, right? It's the persisted into the folder level, persisted into the secondary system. So that this will guarantee that the consistency between the both the systems here, right? So then, so here means primary will sending the transaction, sync, it will persist into the, so the persistency layer level means the file will be moved to the logs will be moved to the persistency layer level. Sync mem means here, so the primary will send the transaction to the main memory level. Main memory level means in the, so in memory level it will send the data, it will store it, then it will send the acknowledgement back to the primary. This is the persistency storage level, this is the persistency memory level. So both the things will send the acknowledgement back to the primary, then primary will send the another log to the secondary here. That is the case here. Then that is the case here. That is the case. And async means primary will not bother about my whether my secondary received the transaction or not. It will keep on sending the data to the secondary. Secondary will not send any acknowledgement back to the primary. That is the case. So either production HA scenario, then primary to secondary we can keep it as a sync or sync mem. The replication mode is like operational mode is like a then log replay here. Then DR side we can make it as a async, then same log replay mechanism we can use it here. So this is the, there are the three types of replication modes. Two are the operation modes here. Using these modes, the data transmission will happen. So either you can use the in memory or log replay, we can use it here. Then you can provide the primary system details here. Then you can just initiate the data shipping, full data shipping from primary to secondary. Then secondary, start the secondary. Then click on the OK button. The registration will happen here. Then registration is done. So you can monitor the replication using the primary. See here, replication status is unknown here, right? Then go to the landscape here. There is a system replication here. The replication is running, full replica is running here, right? Full replica is going to run it here. Full replication is running status here, right? You can see it is active status. One is the name server, second one is the index server, third one is the access engine volumes. This data will be replicated. See, full replica is data transmissioning is happening from primary to secondary. All are active status here. When it is active, then this will become active status. All the services are active in sync. Then replication is perfectly active here. Here primary, secondary host details. Then if you see the primary, host, secondary, what is the replication? What is the last log position? So last logs, which is the last log in the primary. What is the last log in the secondary also? 433,600. So what is the shipped log position? So which means all the logs are shipped here. So suppose something you do it in the primary, immediately the secondary also it is available. Suppose like example primary, there is a Kiran user is there. So then what I will do, I will also create the one user here, that is called the Ravi user. I'm creating here, right? Just Ravi user I'm creating. So Ravi user is created here. Then immediately the same Ravi user also will transfer to the secondary system here. But secondary you cannot access now until you have to take over. Until you have to take over secondary, you cannot access here. So here what we see, there are the users, full replica is done. All the logs are transmitted, all the logs, whatever the transactions will happen, each and everything will be transmitted to the, so transmitted to the secondary system here. See here, last log position, it got changed here, right? So it got changed here. Then immediately shipped log position also changed here. So each and everything will be replicated from primary to secondary here. In case of any takeover, immediately the transaction is available here. We can take over. We can do the takeover of the secondary here, right? Means the secondary will become primary. And so in case of if you something you need to fail back, you can just perform the takeover. Then so until unless the secondary is not available now, you cannot have access the secondary system. Why? Because secondary is a secondary system. You cannot access the secondary. You cannot access the secondary. You will get like this here because of this is the secondary system. You cannot access secondary system until it will become a primary status here. Then right click and so then go to the configure the system replication here. Then perform the takeover. Takeover means you are taking a takeover, means primary responsibilities you are taking over to the secondary here. Then secondary will become available. Then we can validate the data here. Why? Because you have created only users in the primary. Then let's see whether the data is available in the secondary or not. Right? For that purpose, I am performing the takeover. Takeover means the secondary will become primary, will become active. That thing I am doing here. See, here takeover is happening here. Takeover is happening. The takeover is done. So then you can just access the system here. Users. You have done the takeover. Now it is able to access. right? All the data should be available here. All the data. Suppose example, so I have created the user, right? So let me try to give my user. Let me try to connect with the my user here. So which means the user is available definitely. That's why it's asking the password. Username password is incorrect. What password I set here? I forgot the password. At least we can try to. Immediately the data should be available here. Security folder is unable to available. So if you create any other data in the primary, immediately that is also available here. That is also available here. Any users or anything that also should be available here, right? Here also we can see the all the catalog and the data, everything should be available here. In this case also we can able to see it here. So whatever the data is there primary, each and everything will be available in the secondary as well here. So that is the takeover timelines here. So this is called the replication here, right? So we can also break the replication in case of any activity or anything, just connect it, then just remove the disable the replication, means the data will be disabled it here. I'm disabling the replication here, primary to secondary. I'm disabling the replication here. So disable the replication here. So disable the system replication means again we can reconfigure it here. So again we can reconfigure it here. But when you check it here, now this will be gone. Why? Because you have disabled the replication. This is also will be gone, right? This is also gone, right? So which means you have disabled. Again you can do the reconfiguration of the system replications and everything here. That is the main purpose here. Okay, that is done. So this is the way we can do the configuration, replication configuration from the primary to secondary here, right? Make sure both the databases are up and running, right? Then ensure same version or target should be higher version. Why? Because replication will work from the lower to higher only. So, but this the primary is the highest version. This is the lower version, means it won't work. So take the full DB backup, copy the keys and restart the secondary, stop the secondary, enable the primary on the primary and give the site name, then register the primary. While registering only, we have the replication modes and operational modes here, right? Replication mode sync, sync mem, async. Operational modes means, so then delta data shipping and log replay. So this will use it here, and either sync or sync mem depends upon the company. They will use the this modes, they will use it here. That is the operational and replication modes. Okay. So you can use it here. I will you can also you can perform it. You have the two hosts are available, so you can do the configurations. Okay, so you can do the configurations. You can perform the configuration and everything. It's available. You can perform it here. Okay, that's the HA replications and concept time here. And also here you see, in case of some customer, they have the disaster recovery also here. So this is the primary, this is the secondary, this is the DR site. So here this will be in the primary site, this is in the disaster recovery site. So in this case, this is the primary PRI and this is the secondary here. This is the DR, disaster recovery here, right? So here primary to secondary, the data replication will happen. Then DR also it's required the data, right? Then primary to DR we can also configure the same. So same configuration, primary to secondary we will use the either sync or sync mem, we will use it, right? But here we need to use the async, we have to use it for DR side to avoid the performance issues here. The log replay are common, but only the production side, DR side here. So in the primary fail, the secondary. Entire data center is down, then we can bring up the disaster recovery. We can bring up the DR server in another country. Why? Because primary is down, we have the secondary within the same country or within the same data center. Fine. But entire data center country, some operations are down. Then your operations will be affected from the other countries as well. To avoid this thing, they will bring up the DR server. They will do the operations from here. That's the concept of the HADR scenario. Got it?
Sir, can you explain that host thing you have added in starting?
Oh, which one?
Sir, in primary you have added the host.
In the etc host file, we have to add it. Normally, sometimes it's not required. In the etc host file, we need to add the secondary system details. Why? Because primary can able to ping to the target system details, right? Then, so vice versa means primary should able to ping to the target should able to ping to the source. That's why the secondary IP details we have to add into the, so in the etc host file, then only the communication will happen. If you use the ping command, ping size space the secondary host, then it should able to get the response. So then same secondary, then you can use the ping KPS4 and primary to secondary to primary, both should be communicate each other. Then only the connection is working, then replication will transfer the data.
Sir, in primary we will add the secondary host. Secondary
Yeah,
IP.
secondary we have to add the primary host, vice versa.
Okay. In both we will add.
Yeah, both also you can add it, not a problem, nothing will happen. So in the primary, you can add the primary, secondary also you can add the secondary, primary, so that the communication will works. Yeah, we added secondary also. If you go to the etc host file, so you can see we added both. Sometimes some companies it's not required. Why? Because network level they will do something so that you don't need to add it all. So you have the primary, secondary hosts are available. So please work on this part. And later, I'm not sure whether the secondary will become when it is going to be deactivated. So, but please make sure you work on the replication part. Okay.